yeah, and of course, data is very important. You can track all kinds of user data on the Wi-Fi, MAC addresses, IP addresses, the access point that you're connected to, and what time, what kind of device you're using, a phone, a tablet, it's an iPhone, um, depending on other things. We can pretty much log and store all the traffic on the Wi-Fi. URLs, ports, complete packets. So if you're a user, consider using a VPN if you're doing something private. Be careful. In a large network where we have guest Wi-Fi, we can use the data that we collect to predict customer behavior. We can see we know where they walk, when they walk, how long they stand at a certain place, and we know that because we can monitor not just which access point they're connected to, but also the signal strength. So as you walk closer to an access point, the signal strength of your connection increases, and as you walk further away from the access point, signal strength decreases until you've connected to another access point. Other access points can also see your traffic nearby. Pretty much, if you wanted to, you could triangulate the location of a device to within a few feet, if you were totally crazy. But yeah, people, we know for a fact that iPhone users tend to have a higher disposable income than users of other devices, so that's a useful metric that might change in the future, but that's something that a shopping mall might be interested in. What somebody's searching for is also pretty interesting in terms of being able to provide products. If somebody's on their phone a lot, they might be bored, might not be interested in the attraction that they're at. So if we're at a museum and you're walking around and there are areas where there's no Wi-Fi traffic and there's areas where there's lots of Wi-Fi traffic, then we can say, hey, this area has a lot of interesting exhibits and this area doesn't, because people are just on Facebook all the time when they're standing here. So maybe this is something we need to get rid of. Can identify trespassers. If we've banned somebody and we know their MAC address, they come back to our property and we pick up their MAC address on our Wi-Fi. We can send security their way. So that's another cool application. Obviously, everything I just said is subject to the privacy laws of the United States of America and Canada and whatever state or province you're in. And you need to make sure that before you collect any data from a user, you tell them exactly what you're collecting and how long you're storing it for and what you're using it for. And you should anonymize the data and destroy it after a period of time. And even then, make sure that even if they agree to something, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's legal. You need to check with the privacy people, make sure, and even then, be careful, because people don't always read the terms and conditions. So when the news finds out, then you can have a real big public backlash and you won't like it.